Hey, what's up guys? So I'm going to do a quick garage update for you. This is my house currently under renovation. Just me and my father working on it, so quite a bit of work going on here. So in between this house pretty much being done from the foundation up and the cars and work and all sorts of crazy things, there's a lot of things going on. But anyway, these are the cars. My newly acquired 94 Miata, which I'll get to in just a second. 85, 635 CSI, European model, bagged, air suspension, Calypso out red. Top to bottom restoration. If you're not familiar with this thing, go ahead and check out some of my other videos on it. I have quite a few videos on this car, so really a lot of details on this car. Uploaded to YouTube. 2008 Carrera 4S, GT3 front bumper. This is just the aero kit option. The RS would have a little smiley grille there. So it's got the cup lip wrapping the front bumper there. 997.2 Carrera wheels. Added the mud guards just to make it stand out from other 911s. So more videos to come out on this car. I've had it for about 2 years already, so I figured I'd finally make some ownership review videos about it. Upgrades to come to it pretty soon actually, so I'm going to make this thing pretty interesting. Have taken it to some road rallies. I do have a video on it. And kind of get an idea of some of these other cars that are in my videos. That's my 86 635 CSI, also European model. That's just some Traverse, don't pay attention to that. And some of my other cars that I'll eventually get to. It's just a lot of stuff just kind of sitting around, but lots of fun stuff. This is a chicken coop, by the way. I just don't carry a wagon on the side of my house. But I keep the chickens right next to my garage where I work on my stuff. Got my rooster there. Today I'm going to show you around this 1994 Mazda Miata Mx-5. It's first generation of Mazda Miatas. This is the NA, so then it goes NA, NB, NC, so on and so forth until you get to the, I believe the NF is the newest one. So very small car. I mean, this car, you buy one of these, you could just tuck it in your garage. If you have a regular two-car garage, you could fit like 3 or 4 of these in there. So very tiny cars. Now this Miata is my second Miata I've had. My previous Miata was a 97 M edition that pretty much the same car. So from 94 to 97 you get the 1.8 liter 128 horsepower, and then the 0.1 I guess of the NA would be the 1.6 liter, so a little bit smaller of an engine, a little bit less horsepower. So with this one, unfortunately, is an automatic. I don't believe it has a positive flip differential. This is the cloth interior. So overall, very small car. It feels very tight and small on the road, and very darty feel driving wise. It definitely, when you turn the wheel, it definitely does exactly what you want it to. It's an older car, but it's not exactly out of date by today's standards. Maybe other than the horsepower and things like that, but these cars are highly sought after for track racing, spec Miatas. things of that nature, or just Sunday driving. I mean, it's a spectacular Sunday car. Just for driving around town, and top-down motoring is fantastic in it. On the first generation, is the pop-up headlights, which is super iconic to the car. I just love that by a push of a button in this car, you could be able to control it very easily to go up and down. I'm not sure why they added a button, maybe just for fun, but I love that. I love the front end aspect of the car, where it's just a big smiley face and the headlights sort of act as eyes. So definitely a very interesting part of the car, and really makes it stand out opposed to other design language of the era. So really what was done with this car is that basically sort of like how Honda did the NSX, they sort of made it a more reliable supercar of the era. So made it, I guess, more of a reliable Ferrari or things like that. So that's essentially what Mazda did back in the 90s when they came out with the Miata. They essentially made it to, in a way, recreate the MGs and sort of the British top-down, small little race cars. So, and definitely succeeded. Today it's a very highly loved car by a lot of people. Overall, this one is actually in very nice condition. This one doesn't have any major rust issues that you'd find on a lot of other ones, such as the quarter panels and the rockers are always the first thing to go. This one is solid. I'm not sure if it's been repainted before. It does have some paint fade around the door and on the mirror in one spot, but overall it's a very good car. Now if you do the tap test on any of it, it doesn't sound solid or anything like that. It's very hollow sounding, which is what you want to hear when you do the tap test on any car. Now, essentially a rust-free Miata to find in Chicago is pretty unusual. Overall, just really cool car. So let's take it for a ride and let me tell you what it's like to drive one. Okay, so generally your first impression of sitting into a Miata is realizing just exactly how small it is. Now, you could pretty much touch wherever you want in the car without necessarily having to put much effort into that. So, very small car. Now, that's 60. Not exactly that fast. Now, if you had a manual transmission, it would be a little faster, be a little lighter. That's a bit unfortunate with this one, with being the automatic. You don't necessarily get to roll through the gears or anything, but the automatic really isn't that bad. Now, you kind of forget about it with, once you take the top down and you have the sun shining in your face and the wind going through your hair. You don't really necessarily care. At least I don't. All around, really fun cars to drive. Now, and people really don't have that many issues with them. Now, with like maintenance and stuff like that, they're perfectly fine. I haven't heard anything bad about Miatas at all, nor have I experienced anything bad with my previous Miata or this one. Just the only thing that these cars really suffer from is rust, number one. That's really the biggest thing. Now, I don't assume it'd be difficult to find one that's been either well repaired or very well kept, but you would expect to pay a little bit more money for something like that. And another thing that typically goes bad on these cars, which pretty much on any Miata, is the top. The top goes bad, and on this car the top is bad. And as far as that, the car is pretty much perfect all around, just really an unusable top. I drove the car yesterday in the rain and it's not fun, not fun. Car washes are worse, by the way. If you take the car through a car wash with a bad top, yeah, you don't need to shower anymore, basically. It's the fact that they're just meant to be fun. And, you just throw the top down and just go out and enjoy your day, or if it's a bit rainy outside, you put the top up. But topless is always better. It's pretty user-friendly, though. You don't have back seats or anything like that. It's a small car. It's only a two-seater, but you have a decent amount of trunk space. You have a pretty good engine, pretty good drivetrain. Now, this one, speaking of drivetrain, the engine on the odometer, I'm looking at the odometer right now, has only 69,984 miles on it, and it's pretty good. It's hard to find a 94 with only that many miles on it. Now, if you're searching for Miatas, pretty much over 100,000 miles pretty easily. What Mazda does very well with their cars is that they try very hard to make it very driver focused, and with this car that's definitely achieved. With any of the Miatas, they did a phenomenal job, particularly with the first generation, the NA, like this one. Now it's very small, you feel very intimate with the road and with the driving experience. You're all right there. It's very pleasing. And also with some of their other models like the RX-7s, the RX-8s, I've had an RX-8, so I mean definitely great driver focused vehicles. You're pretty much right on the transmission, so your shifter feel is very good. Very darty feel. It's got a bit of body roll to it. And this car is very stock. This car doesn't have any modifications at all. But no, this is a bit of a different story from my previous Miata, which had an exhaust, was lowered, had wheels. The car was just super obnoxiously loud, which I thought was actually really fun, and my neighbors didn't think it was fun at all. This car is starting to turn into more of a collector car market vehicle. Now it's starting to pertain more to the collectors. People are starting to take these cars, tuck them in their garages. After a while, it's just going to be nothing but appreciating in value, which I believe now it's already starting to. So definitely recommend buying a Miata. I feel like any car guy would be able to appreciate something like this. It just doesn't get much better than this for top-down motoring. It really doesn't. So thank you for watching my video. More interesting videos to come, more interesting cars coming to the channel. Feel free to browse some of my videos, check out some of my other cars I have, and thank you, subscribe, and see you next time.